So I have this interesting idea about Haki. It's less of an idea, but more of an expansion on something that's been heavily hinted on throughout One Piece. So Haki is a mysterious power that allows the user to use their own spiritual energy for various purposes, and all living beings in the world are capable of learning Haki. So we currently know about 3 forms of Haki: Armament, Observation, and Conquerors, the one only some people can use. If we were to kind of generalize the different powers, Armament is like controlling your spiritual energy, most commonly used for hardening, but also it can be used as a projectile in the advanced forms. Observation is sensing spiritual energy, and Conquerors is affecting another person's spirit, which makes sense. Someone who has a Conqueror's will can affect people just by their presence. I think there is a 4th kind of Haki, but I'll save that for later. So how do you strengthen your spirit? Well, we have seen throughout One Piece since the beginning that starvation has been an indicator of strong willpower. There are countless examples. The first moment we saw Zoro, he said this when he was put in a situation where he was forced to fast for 1 month. Even though Luffy eats a lot, he has been in a lot of situations where he was starved but survived through willpower. Even as recent as Green Bull, who apparently hasn't eaten in 3 years. This is an interesting clue that Oda left us for Haki strengthening, and if you were to think about it, how are these people able to survive in this condition when we've seen people in One Piece die from this? What if because of their willpower and affinity for Haki, they were able to convert a different kind of energy to sustain their bodies? We'll get to that point later. If fasting and abstaining from food is a way to strengthen your spirit, then wouldn't that mean surviving without natural necessities be another way to strengthen your spirit? So food, but what about oxygen? Is there an example of this? And that made me think of Sky Island again. It's a living condition where you're literally exposed to lower oxygen amounts because the air is thinner. When we were first introduced to Skypiea, the monster trio got wiped in their first fight, and then we're told that the air was thinner. Once they realized and adjusted themselves, they got adapted, and apparently that was unheard of because most Blue Sea people would just die of the air change. Which might be why a lot of people on Sky Island living under the pressure of low oxygen were able to awaken observation Haki. And then there's a group of people that nationwide are able to use armament Haki pretty proficiently, and that is the Kuja tribe. I was thinking, what are they abstaining from, like human necessity wise? Honestly thought about this long and hard, then facepalmed. Since there are no men on the island, they're abstaining from, extracurricular activities for the most part. So they naturally have a stronger spirit. There's probably a lot more considerations here, like their generational training and living in the Calm Belt, but lots of countries train and don't have whole warrior groups that are this proficient in Haki. Struggling to survive and being exposed to that danger when you're young seems to be the way to awaken Haki. And I thought this panel from when Garp introduced himself to Luffy's crew was really interesting. Garp explains how he trained Luffy when he was a kid, and these are the 3 things he did. He threw him down a ravine, into a jungle at night, and tied him onto a balloon to watch him fly away. I feel like he was trying to awaken his Haki like this, but like the first 2 seem like tropes in a lot of anime, but tying him to balloons to make him fly? That seems like an odd training style. Makes sense if Garp had some Sky Island experience, wink wink, and knew oxygen deprivation would make Luffy stronger. All of this is probably why among pirates there's more Haki users than like with bandits, cause pirates forego a home and survive on the conditions of the ocean to survive. I think there's a deeper meaning to Haki, which makes me believe there's a 4th Haki that has already been shown, but we're going to understand it much better later on.